Howdy, I'm Gabby the Clown, and today I'm going to be making some redesigns for Garten of Bay. Oh. No, that's not... Oh. Crap. So I adore mascot horror. It is one of my favorite genres of horror, specifically because I love seeing all the different monster designs that people come up with. So with mascot horror, there's usually like two ways that people go. You can either focus on being a cute mascot, or you focus on being scary. And some IPs do it really well, where they combine the two. But most of the time, it usually goes one way or the other. Like, Five Nights at Freddy's is a good example of this, where Five Nights at Freddy's, depending on the game, it will lean primarily into being scary, or primarily into, like, having cute designs. So Security Breach leans a bit too much into the mascot, of mascot horror, and so it doesn't really feel scary. And then, like, FNAF 4 leans more into the horror of mascot horror. My personal, favorite example of a really well done mascot horror monster design is Yarnaby from Poppy Playtime. Honestly, most designs from Poppy Playtime, hit a pretty good balance of, being something that I could believe was intended for children, while also having the potential to be scary. Yarnaby is my personal favorite because I think he is absolutely adorable. And like at first glance, like obviously like kids would love this thing. Why wouldn't they? But then he opens his mouth and it looks like this, and you're like, oh no, no thank you. So yeah, mascot horror typically will lean into one or the other, but sometimes they do both, and they do it really well. However, Garten of BanBan doesn't do either. It doesn't have endearing designs that like, oh yeah, kids would love this is so cute. And it also doesn't have scary designs. They're just there, and it kills me, because, like, I feel like the premise is somewhat interesting. Like, there's this, like, big kindergarten that had all these, like, weird experiments going on. It's very Poppy Playtime. But, like, yeah, it was a kindergarten with weird experiments or something. And there was an accident where like, a bunch of kids went missing or whatever. And you, the player, are a parent coming back to try and get your kid, like, save them, or, like, find out what happened to them, at least. And I think that's very interesting. That's a really interesting connection that we could have. But it just doesn't really go anywhere or have any purpose. And the design... So I'm just gonna try not to talk about the game as a whole too much, because I don't really care about BanBan that much. The only part that really frustrates me is the designs, because I'm a character designer. It's kind of my thing. So the way I feel about BanBan designs is, you know when you are very passionate and knowledgeable about something, and then you see someone else do it very poorly, or like just without much care, and you feel like this need to fix it? Like, so let's say you're a contractor, and you see somebody like build a house really poorly, or Gordon Ramsay, actually, that's a good example. He gets pissy because people, he gets annoyed when people don't care about food, because that's like his main thing, is that he loves food, and he loves cooking. And most of the time, he really only gets super mad when, other people don't seem to give a shit. And like, that's how I feel about BanBan designs. And I don't want to accuse the creators of the game of not caring about character design or like art direction at all, but the evidence seems to suggest that it might not have been very high on their priorities list, to put it politely. They're just blobs of Play-Doh. Like, they don't have anything. Like, for the most part, none of them have anything. Like, and it drives me insane. So I'm drawing BanBan first, right? So for BanBan, he has the same issue as BanBalina, where, like, I don't know what the fuck is this thing supposed to be, because most of the designs in BanBan are allegedly based off of animals. But BanBan and BanBalina and that new blue guy, who I don't know who that is, I don't remember his name, they're just things. I don't know what they're supposed to be. So I made, in my character design video, I made BanBalina, a rabbit, or a bunny, because that's an animal that most closely resembles what they are, I guess. And also BanBalina, bunny, duh. So for BanBan, I'm deciding to make him a jackalope, because, so that he's still, like, rabbity, like BanBalina, because they're supposed to be, the same thing, but also jackalopes are cool, and I thought it would be very sick if his monster design had these giant horns, because, in the game, when he goes monster mode, his, like, little nub horn things get sharper, and I thought that was neat. I thought that was interesting. I actually don't hate BanBan's monster design in the game. It's just that his normal design is so fucking boring, and it drives me insane. Like, he's just a red thing. Like, what, and he has the tongue thing, he sticks his tongue out, he's so silly and quirky. I don't care, man. I don't care about BanBan. He's so boring to look at. There's nothing there. And also, I mentioned this a lot in my character design video, so I'm gonna repeat myself a bit in this video, but whatever. So one of my other main issues with this game is that, like, there's no animations on the characters for the most part, which, like, just, it kills me. So, like, there's like all these long scenes of characters just talking to each other, but they're not emoting or, like, moving at all, or gesturing, or doing anything interesting. They're just standing there in their idle animation until it's time to, like, run away, or, like, fight, or something. And it's so boring. And they don't have expressions on their faces, and it makes it even worse that if they look boring, could they at least do interesting things? But no, we get nothing from them. We get nothing. The closest thing we have to characterization is, like, their dialogue, and their voice acting. And BanBan's voice acting, with all peace and love and respect in the world, is not good. Like, I don't want to accuse the creators of not caring, but I just feel like this voice actor in particular does not give a single fuck, especially in comparison to the rest of the cast. Like, his voice is just so, like, nothing. There's no emotion in his voice, and it's insane, because he's, like, the main character. Like, and so I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite, but I actually don't mind that Stinger Flynn has a really monotone voice, because I feel like that fits the character. Like, to my knowledge, Stinger Flynn is, like, a cynical bastard, who just does not give a fuck. He's very apathetic, and he's kind of just, like, given up on life, because he wants to leave and see the world, but he never will be able to, because he can't move, he has no legs, and he must walk. Which, again, could have been interesting, but in a different game this could have been interesting. But anyway, so I think him having a more monotone and unexpressive voice fits. It isn't grating to me, because I feel like it makes sense for the character. But for BanBan, it doesn't make sense. It's just annoying. Like, it just makes me think that you didn't give a fuck. Like, sorry, I know this is a character design video, but it's kind of devolving into me just whining about the things I don't like about BanBan. But anyway, this is my video, so I can do what I want. But yeah, I don't like BanBan's voice. I hate the way that he looks. I hate the way that he talks. It's just, he's so bland, and it's insufferable. I will say, I actually kind of liked BanBan in the baby version game. I think it's Garten of BanBan 0. Because he felt like he had a personality, which was cool. And I also, I'm doing the little, I'm drawing him doing his little -1 million aura that he does in that game, because it's, like, that's, like, the first thing I think of when I think of Garten of BanBan, is that quote. It just burned into my brain, so I felt the need to include it. But yeah, BanBan himself, like, I'll rate him, like, a 2 out of 10 character, like a 3 out of 10. I don't care about him at all. He gets 3 points for saying -1 million aura, and yeah. Jumbo Josh. I hate Jumbo Josh's design. When I say hate, I mean, like, it genuinely makes me physically angry. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I know that I need to calm down. I'm an adult. It's fine. But it's so okay. Let me explain the backstory of why I hate this thing. So apparently, this thing is supposed to be a gorilla. Where? How is this a gorilla? I feel like I'm losing my mind. This is not a gorilla. Why are you lying to me? Don't lie to me. Don't treat me like I'm stupid. This is not a gorilla in any capacity. Like, oh, it has big arms and small legs. Congratulations. What? It's just a blob. It is just a paint blob. Like, and oh, he makes me so mad. He doesn't have anything, and it's not a gorilla. It's not a gorilla, and it's just boring. At least BanBan has some modicum of a personality with his stupid little party hats on his horns. This thing has nothing. It has nothing. It is just a green blob that you're telling me is a gorilla. I don't want to take a Rorschach test while I'm playing a video game. Respectfully. Thank you, but no. This is not a gorilla in any capacity. It's anyway. Yeah. So the Jumbo Josh is the reason I wanted to redesign BanBan characters to begin with, cause, like, there's so much you could do with a gorilla design, and like, monkeys are scary, dude. Gorillas are scary. Like, they'll kill you for looking at them funny. Like, monkeys are scary, and you could do so much with, like, having a monkey as, like, one of, like, the villains, or, like, monsters in your horror game. But no, it's just a blob that, like, breaks your elevator and eats the queen's scepter. So horror, so mascot horror, so spooky. And I know that BanBan isn't supposed to be scary, at least not anymore. It's kind of just devolved into shitpost meme game. If it was ever trying to be anything else to begin with. But something that I hate more than anything that will always make me upset is wasted potential. And that's what BanBan feels like to me. Because I feel like there's, like, so many, like, seeds. There's, like, seeds of a good idea, of, like, interesting things scattered around here. But it's buried under freaking drone puzzles and, like, hand over your pancreas, like, and bird up, and bird up, the Garten of BanBan is endearing in, like, a lot of ways. Like, I like that it kind of just embraces that it's goofy and doesn't take itself too seriously. But man, if it had taken itself seriously, the what if always, like, kills me. Like, the what if of a lot of things always kill me. But with BanBan especially. But anyway, Jumbo Josh, I made him a gorilla, because he's a gorilla, apparently. I've never drawn a gorilla before, actually, at least not in my memory. So this is really fun. I think he turned out really cute. I really like, the doodle I did of him eating the Queen's scepter. Like, he has 0 brain cells. He doesn't know he exists. And then we have, Queen Bouncelia. I think that's how you say her name. Anyway. And this was a request, in the comments of my post asking, like, hey, make suggestions if you want to see a specific character. Another character that was suggested was, the bird, the Opila bird, and I did not decide to do that bird because I have a confession to make. As much as I've been, like, angry and clowning on BanBan for having bad designs, I have to be honest, I actually really like the bird. I think it's really cute. And it doesn't bother me as much as the others because it looks like a bird, that it's supposed to be a bird, and it looks like a bird. And I don't really mind it not having much more to it. Like, I don't really mind it not having a lot of personality in its design, because, as far as I'm aware, the Opila bird doesn't really have a personality. It's just, it's a bird. It's just an animal. So I don't really mind the Opila bird's design. I actually like it. I don't know if I'm just brain rotted from the freaking bird up meme or whatever, but I don't know, man. I like this thing. This one gets a gold sticker for not being terrible. I will say, and this is an issue with every single BanBan design, I hate that it has this weird flesh texture. Why does everything look like that? It's disgusting. And it's not disgusting in a way that makes it scary. It's just gross, and I don't like looking at them. But the bird gets a pass, because other than the texture, it's cute, I think. Especially, like, the baby bird, which I'm gonna be adding to, these little doodles of my Queen Bouncelia design. I'm gonna have her be holding the little baby bird, because I think it's cute. And also, I'm pretty sure, if my memory's right, in the chapter, where you meet Queen Bouncelia is when you get the bird. And, like, it'll just, like, kind of be sitting with her sometimes, and I think that's adorable. I think that's cute. And yeah, I think Queen Bouncelia, probably has the most, of a personality to work with in terms of, like, being able to design something based on a personality, which is interesting. I think a lot of the character, like, the past 2 characters I designed didn't really have super strong personalities, so I was kind of just going off my headcanons for them, I guess. But Queen Bouncelia, at least from what I can tell, her personality is, like, kind of motherly. She's, like, the queen trying to, like, make a safe haven for people and, like, keep them safe. She's very Doughy the Doughman coded, actually. Except she's not, 3 traumatized children in a trench coat. She's, like, a woman, as far as I can tell. So she's very, like, motherly and, like, kind of protective. So I just kind of leaned into that for her design, particularly her expression. I wanted her to look very, like, very kind and, like, patient and indulgent. Like, I actually kind of, like, took a little bit of inspiration from, Kanga from Winnie the Pooh. Mostly just because Kangaroo Mom and another Kangaroo Mom. If I had a nickel for every time a piece of media had a kangaroo who was a mother, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right? Anyway, I feel like I'm losing brain cells and devolving. The Juvanium is getting into my brain. I'm getting Juvanium poisoning, guys. Pray for me. But anyway, Queen Bouncelia, I think she's cute. And she's purple, which is cool, because that's my favorite color. I actually don't have a lot of beef with her design either. It's mostly just the gross flesh texture, and not having expressions, which is issues that every single character has. But for the most part, I feel the same way about her as I do Opila Bird, where, she looks like the animal she's supposed to look like, for the most part, and I can tell vaguely what her vibes are, because she has her little queen crown and her little scepter. So I'm like, oh, queen kangaroo, looks like a queen kangaroo. So I don't hate her design that much. But I mostly picked her over Opila Bird because I could see a direction to go in, which was basically just giving her an expression and adding some details, just giving her some flavor. Going to Flavor Town in Garten of BanBan. Save me. So, that's the Garten of BanBan. It sure was a euphoric time. Bird up! I am never letting that happen again. Anyway, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, I would really appreciate it, and subscribe if you would like to. And let me know what your least favorite BanBan design is, and why. I would love to hear it. Also, I probably should have said this at the beginning of the video, but I wanted to do the funny bit. But don't be mean to the creators of the game. Like, I hate the designs, and I don't really like their game, but being mean to the creators just because you don't like something they made is the stupidest thing ever, and if you do that, I hate you. Being a Digital Circus fan right now is a prison, and I hate everyone. But anyway, yeah, next video is going to be an early Pride Month video where I share some stories about being bi and how I realized I was bi and like when I came out to my parents and how that all went. So yeah, look forward to that. And I hope you have a great night, day, or whatever time it is where you are. Cheers!